Hello, my darling grade twos. How are you guys doing today? Again, still waiting to get my test results. I'm tried calling my doctor to see if he could get them faster. Still, they are not ready yet. So also, you've probably heard about the grade ones. So I'm here isolating anyway till the 8th. So I am counting down the days until I can see you guys again. I super miss you. I'm wondering how everyone is doing. I'm wondering if Hamza's desk is a huge mess. I'm wondering how you're gonna do on your spelling tests. I'm wondering if Ashraf is having a good time at recess. I'm wondering if Mina's done any cute drawings for me lately. So many wonders. I can't wait to see you guys again. And yeah, maybe the 9th will be the day. I really hope. So here we go. We're going to read some more from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory today. And of course, we are now on to chapter 3. And what's just happened was Grandpa George is talking to Charlie about some of the things that Willy Wonka did. So last time we were together, we sketched some of those inventions that Willy Wonka created. And today, if you're choosing to sketch, I think it would be a great choice to sketch the, well, we'll see what it's called, but the palace that Willy Wonka builds for the Indian prince. So here we go. Chapter 3, Mr. Wonka and the Indian Prince. Prince Pondicherry wrote a letter to Mr. Willy Wonka, said Grandpa Joe, and asked him to come all the way out to India and build him a colossal palace entirely out of chocolate. Did Mr. Wonka do it, Grandpa? He did indeed. And what a palace it was. Okay, so get ready. Here's some of the details. It had 100 rooms, and everything was made of either dark or light chocolate. The bricks were chocolate, and the cement holding them together was chocolate, and the windows were chocolate, and all the walls and ceilings were made of chocolate. So were the carpets, and the pictures, and the furniture, and the beds. And when you turned on the taps in the bedroom, hot chocolate came pouring out. When it was all finished, Mr. Wonka said to Prince Pondicherry, I warn you, though, it won't last very long, so you'd better start eating it right away. Nonsense, shouted the prince. I'm not going to eat my palace. I'm not even going to nibble the staircase or lick the walls. I'm going to live in it. But Mr. Wonka was right, of course, because soon after this, there came a very hot day with a boiling sun, and the whole palace began to melt. And then it sank slowly to the ground, and the crazy prince, who was dozing in the living room at the time, woke up to find himself swimming around in a huge brown sticky lake of chocolate. Oh, my page is folded. Little Charlie sat very still on the edge of the bed, staring at his grandfather. Charlie's face was bright, and his eyes were stretched so wide you could see the whites all around. Is this really true? He asked. Or are you pulling my leg? It's true, cried all 4 of the old people at once. Of course it's true. Ask anyone you like. And I'll tell you something else that's true, said Grandpa Joe. And now he leaned closer to Charlie and lowered his voice to a soft, secret whisper. Nobody ever comes out. Out of where? Asked Charlie. And nobody ever goes in. I want you to take a look at these dots here, and I want you to talk to someone beside you. What does the author mean? Why are these dots here in this writing? What do you think? What was the point of adding those dots? Was that a mistake or was that on purpose? Talk to someone beside you. Okay, so I'm hoping you noticed that when I read that, this made me slow down, didn't it? These 3 dots, that's called an ellipses. And it's where you slow down when you're writing when you're reading for effect. So instead of reading it fast, like, and nobody ever goes in, you read it, and nobody ever goes in. So the point is to make it very dramatic, what's being said, to make sure you pause in between. All right. In where? Cried Charlie. Wonka's factory, of course. Grandpa, what do you mean? I mean workers, Charlie. Workers? All factories, said Grandpa Joe, have workers streaming in and out of the gates in the mornings. And everyone, in mornings and evenings, except Wonka's. Have you ever seen a single person going into that place or coming out? Little Charlie looked slowly around at each of the 4 old faces, one after the other, and they all looked back at him. They were friendly, smiling faces, but they were also quite serious. There was no sign of joking or leg pulling on any of them. Why do you think Charlie's checking to make sure they're not joking or leg pulling? Do your grandparents sometimes try to pull your leg? Pull your leg, what does that mean? Does everyone know? It's like playing a joke on you, like trying to trick you. So he's making sure they're not joking or trying to pull his leg, because that's kind of what grandparents do, isn't it? Well, have you? Asked Grandpa Joe. I really don't know, Grandpa, Charlie stammered. Whenever I walk past the factory, the gates seem to be closed. Exactly, said Grandpa Joe. But there must be people working there. Not people, Charlie. Not ordinary people, anyway. Then who? Cried Charlie. Aha! That's it, you see. That's another of Mr. Willy Wonka's cleverness. Charlie, dear, Mrs. Bucket called out from where she was standing by the door. It's time for bed. That's enough for tonight. But, Mother, I must hear. Tomorrow, my darling. That's right, said Grandpa Joe. I'll tell you the rest of it tomorrow evening. And you can see chapter 4 is going to be called The Secret Workers. So I hope you got a chance to sketch a bit of the Indian palace made entirely out of chocolate. And as you look at your sketch of that and compare it to the sketch of Charlie's house, what kind of a contrast do you notice? What do you notice about a palace made entirely out of chocolate that's not going to be eaten? And how does that compare to Charlie's house and to Charlie's life? I want you to talk to the people beside you about what was the purpose of that? What's the visual we get, and what does that make us think about as we think Charlie, who's very poor, never has enough to eat, and then this palace made entirely of chocolate that's not even going to be eaten. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this chapter today. I can't wait to read to you again tomorrow. Don't forget to study for your spelling test, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.